Okay, it will be nice when I don't have to do stuff like this. But I haven't been able to do anything. Really, I probably should wait to do real railroads again until I have a better setup. But I'm going to do this quickly because Wilmar just went live, or is counting down to live. I had planned on something local for episode 13, but in planning the future vacations, I decided to do some railroads from the area I will be rail fanning for a couple of days in 2023. I have several weeks of railroads in Florida laid out and written to talk about. This first one is the Florida Midland Railroad, which is a Class 3 short line owned by Regional Rail LLC, operating since 1987. The railroad operates two former CSX lines in Central Florida, halfway between the two coasts. These are the Lake Wales Line and Winterhaven Line. They once operated a third line, the Leesburg Line, but that has been abandoned. The Lake Wales Line is a former CSX Lake Wales subdivision. This comes off the CSX Auburndale subdivision in West Lake Wales and runs east to Lake Wales, where it changes to north-south travel. This arrangement of rails was created in the merger of Atlantic Coastline and Seaboard Airline into Seaboard Coastline, which cut down redundant trackage. The north-south segment is 11 miles of the former ACL Haines City branch, which once ran down to Everglades City. This is now abandoned south of Frostproof, where the FIMD serves a Lowe's distribution center. Running on this line involves FMID trains leaving the CSX interchange in West Lake Wales and running 7 miles to Lake Wales, where they run around their train on a runaround and shove around the connector to the ACL line, where they can then have the locomotive on the front for the 11-mile run, serving industries between there and Frostproof. This has been only an 8-mile line since the 1970s, when SCL cut down redundant service. FMID has been operating it since 1987. The Winterhaven Line is a former CSX Bartow subdivision, built in 1884 as the South Florida Railroad, which became part of the ACL. South Florida Railroad trackage is part of a lot of the railroads that I will be featuring. I believe it's also part of the Seminole Gulf Railway, the Florida Central, and I'm pretty sure the Florida Northern also has sections of it. Prizes from Sparky are in the background of this vehicle, this video. Not vehicle. The South Florida Railroad became part of the ACL. It was I don't remember when it was. I think it's mentioned in another video. FMID interchanged with CSX on the Auburndale subdivision in Winterhaven via trackage rights. The line comes off the CSX south of the Amtrak station and runs a mere 6 miles to Gordonville. This originally went all the way to Bartow, but this was abandoned in the 1980s. The Leesburg line has been abandoned since 2000. Only a Y and Wildwood remains of this segment, and there are no industries. This was of SAL and ACL heritage, which got it from the Florida Central and Peninsular Railroad and the Florida Southern Railway, respectively. The Florida Midland does not have locomotives of their own. They instead utilize 4 locomotives from sister railroad Florida Central, which I will cover next week. Florida Central also provides locomotives to the Florida Northern, which will be the week after that. The Lake Wales line, also referred to as the Lake Wales Division, has FCEN CF7 number 48 and SW1200 number 94. The CF7 is originally a Santa Fe unit acquired from the AKMD, while the SW1200 is originally a Pennsylvania Railroad unit acquired from LC. The Winterhaven line, also referred to as the Eagle Lake Division and Bartow Division, has 2 former Santa Fe GP7Us numbered FCEN 55 and 57. The FMID also has a caboose designated SCL 0996, which is its original number. There's pictures of it online. You can look it up. It's just sitting. Can't remember what division it's on. I think it's on the Bartow division. I think it's mentioned later. So, the northernmost line of the FMID is the Bartow division. This has 5 industries on its 6 miles of track, leaving the CSX Auburndale subdivision. The FMID Bartow division heads southwest, crossing 655 and paralleling US 17. The Eagle Lake transload is right on US 17, and then the other 4 industries are in an industrial park, all visible in a 2-block area. The Lake Wales Division interchanges in Westlake, Wales, and runs through fields to Lake Wales, where it serves the first industry outside the main city. Florida Central growers in the city. They then run around their train to head south, 11 miles through citrus groves to reach Frostproof and the fertilizer place there and the massive Lowe's distribution center. On Google Maps, it shows a train of about 15 center beam flats ready to traverse the line in Westlake, Wales, so Lowe's receives a lot of lumber. Man, the lighting is yellow. That's what happens when you have an incandescent bulb, but that's what I have. Or a reasonable facsimile of an incandescent bulb. I wish it was an incandescent bulb. Those last longer. They don't blow every 2 weeks. Operations I could find nothing on. I could not find days of operation or train designations. I suspect the Bartow Division runs Monday through Friday. The CSX train that goes to Winterhaven is 0707, which runs from Auburndale to Winterhaven, Monday through Friday. 0707 has a relief crew. 0719 running from Winston to Auburndale is needed, and 0714 waits in Winston as their helper crew running daily. I could not find a train that served the Westlake Wales interchange. It might be 0707 that runs to there also. This concludes the episode on the Florida Midland Railroad. Next week I will cover their larger sister, the Florida Central Railroad. In June of 2023 I will be in Florida, but I don't know if I will be able to rail fan this railroad. Most of my time is probably going to be on the West Coast, which is basically where the FMID runs. Very short episode, but that ran short.